What's going on, guys? Welcome into your Energy News Beat here on this gorgeous Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. As always, I'm your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, coming to you from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, and the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, EnergyNewsBeat.com. Stuart Turley, how you doing today, my man?
Well, it's a beautiful day here in the neighborhood, and I don't have a mask on.
No, you don't. Texas is wide open. I'll be. I need to be down there soon. But we have a great show for you guys lined up. You can check all that in a bag of chips out to our left. OPEC really falls flat. I mean, it was really sad. No really interesting news coming out of OPEC. But again, we'll get to all of that. But first, continue to subscribe. World's greatest YouTube channel, EnergyNewsBeat.com. Follow us online, www.energynewsbot.com. The best way to stay up there on all of your energy finance news. It's legit just an IV of news into your veins. We do a great job of, Sue does a great job of covering the international side. I'm generally more on the U.S. side, but it's a really good mix, guys. Check us out, www.energynewsbeat.com. Dead yields tell no tales, Stu. We are back on yields up, NASDAQ down. I'll read you top line indices, and then we'll dive into why. SPY pulls back a full percentage point. NASDAQ drops 2.6 percentage points. Dow Jones finishes pretty much flat. Yields jump as much as 4.6 percentage points, currently up 5.8 percentage points. And to give you an idea, that's about 8 basis points. So if you hear basis points and you want to know percentage, well, that's it. 10-year bond currently trading at $1.47 and 4/10 of a share. That's 5.8 percentage points up from the open, or about 8 basis points. So again, give you an idea about how that top line reads. I mean, interest rates, Jim Cramer said this on Squawk Alley this morning. I thought I'd like to say, interest rates aren't giving this market a cut right now. It's going to continue to drive stuff up. Netflix was down 4.8 percentage points. Amazon, Microsoft, Google all dropped more than 2 percentage points. Apple off 1.6 percentage points. On the jobs front, only about 117,000 new jobs were created in February. We were expecting a print of 225,000, so not terribly good. Our ISM non-factoring index also showed a reading of 55.3. To give you guys an idea, we were expecting a 58.7 Dow Jones estimate. So data comes out soft and yields continue to spike. We're going to continue to do this as the market just continues to be absolutely, I hate this word, but we're going to continue to say it's frothy. Don't worry, guys. Energy sector up 2 percentage
I'm
points.
tired of that word, man.
Well, we're going to keep saying it as long as it is. Bitcoin up 5 percentage points today. Crude oil, I mean, choo-choo. We had a great day on crude oil, up 2.5 percentage points, up 61.27. I'm pretty sure this is off no OPEC news because it's very interesting to see what happened. The Brent side, though, only up 0.1 of a percentage point. So that squeeze, we're now down to about $3 between WTI and Brent. Very interesting. Back into the WTI curve, 57.86. Natural gas just off some warmer or some colder weather we're expecting throughout the Northeast. It's supposed to get 40s in Texas, so hopefully you guys survive. You don't lose power down there. You might have to put a hoodie on or something. It's down 1 percentage point, $2.80. Back end of the natural gas curve, 1.1 percentage points. Currently trading about $3 even. As I mentioned, energy sector, it's up 3 percentage points today. OIH, which are oil field services, up 1.3 percentage points. Dogecoin sitting about 5 cents, so you're about a half a percentage point up. So anyway, I don't see Stu in the Doge. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our equities on the downside. Southwestern, not a great day. Ramaco Resources, not a great day. They're both down 3 percentage points. Riley Exploration, SPACs, obviously they don't like them, down 5.7 percentage points. Telbinian, they're down 6 percentage points. High Point Resources down 6.9 percentage points, and American Resources Corporation, they are down 10 percentage points. On the upside, some decent numbers. New Concept Energy, they're up 8. SM, they spiked 13 percentage points. CDEV, they see a rise up to 14 percentage points. Currently trading about $4.60. Abrejas, they're up 15 percentage points. And Callon Petroleum raising 19.84 percentage points. Sue, internationally, it was a dog of a day. It wasn't great. We were expecting fireworks. There was none.
There were some funny things that went on. If you can see my article here, OPEC, JMMC, they ends with no recommendation. Michael, now I'm going to go through a little bit of background here, but let me show this again. My buddy Novak, he's there in the center, right on the center there. He is so bored. He's the Russian prime minister, and he is bored out of his mind. I think all of them are taking a nap. In fact, I think the Venezuelan guy's already asleep. So they basically said, we're not going to do anything. Now, let me give you a little bit of
Well, good.
background. Yes and no. Here's, I want to give a shout out to Amina Baker. She is on Twitter, and she let us know on Twitter Iran's oil minister Zhang Hai will not be attending the JMMC today. What will they do? And I thought that was a pretty good point. This morning, I was sitting there visiting with our boys at Reichstad,
Yep.
and they came out with a lot of information. And so here we are. We're taking a crayon to the numbers before OPEC Plus tomorrow. Based on all of the way inventory is going on right now, if they are going to increase production, okay, we got the Swami going on here, 1.3 million barrels per day to 1.5. I'm actually going to head it up over the 1.5. I bet they go more than 1.5. Russia is greedy right now in order to do this. So with that, it's going to be a bloodbath tomorrow, because whatever recommendations they do, it's going to go to the OPEC Plus and then the OPEC meeting.
Yep.
And if they have to step up, they're really needing the oil bad. Okay. Last article coming around the corner here. This one was about electrical vehicles. I really enjoyed this article. How green are electric vehicles? Well, it depends on where you're driving them. I have to give them a shout out. This article was very well written, and it has a story behind it, and that is we have electrical cars, and everybody's saying they're fantastic. But if you're in the Midwest, a lot of it's coal.
Yep.
Well, all of a sudden, you're not so green anymore. So it really does depend on where you're getting your electricity on. All this is articulated very well. How green are electric vehicles? Well, it depends on where you're driving them. It's on the greatest website in the world, Energy Newsbeat. Back to you.
Yeah, gotta love. I just get a kick. Oh, I had a kick out of this article. Oh, why? You enjoyed that article because it crapped all over renewables? Makes sense.
It didn't. Here's one other thing I forgot to point out. They said that, when batteries come back around and they're 80%, and you got to get rid of them. They said that those batteries they're developing a product so you can use those at home, because even if that 80%, you can store energy at home on those, and they'll be quite fine. You can get extra years out of them. Thought that was a great point.
No, it's interesting, and I think there's going to be, especially, when we turn to the U.S. side here, there's going to be money in renewables, and I think it's a good segue into our first U.S. story, which is Secretary Jennifer Granholm, is the first used her first speech here at CERAWeek. Also, I found this so CERAWeek happened. Just as a side note, we saw Secretary Jennifer Granholm speak. We also heard Oxy CEO Vicki Hollub speak, and I gotta find the quote because I'm listening to this and I'm 99% sure I said it's become clear that shale isn't a profit-making business. I'm pretty sure I saw that, but don't quote me on that. I'll recheck and we'll fact check me. We need someone. It's like we need PTI. We need somebody to come at the end and just fact check me on everything that I say.
I got to fact check everything I say, but Russia and all the other foreign countries are afraid of the U.S. shale. So
why though? See, but I guess stop. There should be a balance. You know what I mean?
There should be, but they're afraid of it, and just flat out they want to take it out.
And so, is that why you're saying over? I know we're going back to this, but is that why we're saying 1.5 million barrels on the upside?
There's too many things, and then like I've been going on, Iran is going to be shipping a boatload. That's a good pun, by the way. A boatload of unregistered ships.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I got a ballpark number.
I'm trying to run down. We gotta love that spoofing.
It's worse than spoofing.
Well, what is it?
Spoof on steroids. So I'm trying to get some numbers for us.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and no, that's great. Again, all that stuff via the world's greatest website, EnergyNewsBeat.com. Let's get back to it though. Jennifer Granholm, Secretary Granholm, used her first speech as U.S. Energy Secretary. Um, really, I mean, here's the thing. She basically told oil and gas companies, you're at risk being left behind if they don't embrace the transition to clean energy, and really, in her eyes, extended. Or as what Reuters would say, extended an olive branch to the oil and gas. But I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, she is committed to wielding the $35 billion that the U.S. Energy Department has on a yearly basis to help in this transition. Does that mean you're going to see? I mean, my whole question with this is great. We have money. We know we need to transition, but is somebody, and let's just take a random operator, somebody like Diamondback, do they have the expertise nor the knowledge to buy wind leases, to start creating batteries, to start rolling out solar farms? I don't think so. I don't have that capability. So it's not as much as, well, we've got the money. Well, the question is, where's the money going to flow to? So
You can barely charge your battery, let alone make a new one.
yeah. I love Wyoming Republican Senator John Brossel said, it's pretty funny. He said the Biden administration is telling these oil rig, coal mine, and well workers they can simply get new jobs building solar panels.
John
Their
Kerry said
livelihood's
that.
been sacrificed in the name of the Biden agenda. So it's clearly, the Republicans in the Senate don't necessarily, I think sort of say, I'm all about the transition. My only question when any one of these politicians comes out is, how are we actually going to distribute this money? Is this going to be distributed in a way that actually spurs the energy transition, whatever that stands for? Or is it just going to be, are we going to have more Solyndras on our hand? We all remember Solyndra.
It's all about the kilowatt per hour to the consumer, and if we can elevate people
You're
out of
speaking
poverty.
too smart, Stu. You're speaking too rationally. We are not supposed to speak that rationally, so I'm gonna cut you off right there. Um, this is interesting, Stu. Casey Harrell, he's the guy who campaigned and was instrumental in pushing BlackRock to basically act against climate change. He's
Yep.
back at it again.
This
He's
guy.
on to yeah, I mean, great guy. He's on to Vanguard now. He's won the BlackRock war. They've come out
Yeah.
and said he's going to do this. He's moving now to Vanguard, and it's going to be really interesting because Joe Galloway, or there's a quote here, because they're an index-based investor, the divestment of, and so where the difference is, BlackRock can more easily divest because it's just them, but because Vanguard is an index-based investor, much harder for the individual investor who invests in their index funds to divest. So that's why it's going to probably be a little harder of a fight. I don't think they're just going to lay over as maybe easily as BlackRock. Again, though, it comes down to public sentiment. We talked about in the last story. Public sentiment starts. I mean, FedEx came out today and pledged carbon neutrality by 2040. They're going to designate $2 billion into vehicle electrification, sustainable energy, and plane. They're going to go 100% planes on electric. That'll be interesting. I am not getting on an electric plane. I'm sorry. I refuse
You
to.
know how heavy the batteries are on them bad dogs?
That's what I'm saying. I barely get on flights powered by gas because I'm scared. You ain't getting me on an electric plane. Well, I'm gonna see that. We're gonna see the pilot pedaling in there. Is that what we gotta do? It's just pedals. Oh, the electric
Fred
plane is just a
Flintstone
pedal
planes.
system by everybody in the thing. It's a good workout actually. It's a
Yeah.
long flight from New York to L.A. pedaling, man. It's a marathon.
Boy, the Hundley was ahead of its time. That was a World War, or excuse me, the Civil War submarine that the guys pedaled by hand and sank.
Yeah, so again, why I'm not getting on an electric plane. But everybody's going, I mean, everybody's is moving this way. Investment's moving that way. Investor sentiment is moving that way. If you don't think it's coming, there's not much more I can tell you. There's not many more stories we can run to convince you that the energy transition is coming, whether you like it or not.
Nope. Whether there is weather or not, it's going to be here.
Oh, it will be here. Finally, TC Energy announced that they finally completed that transaction of TC Pipelines, just consolidating stuff. The common unit, TCP pipeline's common units will no longer be listed. Common shares of TC Energy will continue to trade on both the New York Stock Exchange and the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol TRP. It's more simply and streamlines their portfolio. I don't think there's anything interesting about that, but I always enjoy when these things actually go through. What did we miss today, Stu? Where's our fact check?
Oh, I don't know. I got to fact check myself all the time.
Did you say fat check?
Yes, I do.
Same
Yes,
thing.
I
I
did.
gotta go get a jogging after
I need
this.
to go get on the treadmill.
No kidding, guys. Well, with that, we're gonna let you get out of here. Go get some exercise in, and we will see you guys tomorrow on the World Greatest Energy News. For Stuart Turley, I'm Michael Tanner. Stay frosty, people.